Jonathan Harker stared at his screen. His eyes were drawn to the flickering lines of code. He was deep in the dark web, a place most people couldn't even find. Jonathan, though, was a cybersecurity expert. This was his domain. He worked for a firm hired to protect the world's biggest companies from cyber threats. This wasn't just another corporate espionage case. This felt darker, a whisper on the internet of a hidden corner of the web, controlled by an entity known only as Dracula. This entity was rumored to control vast amounts of data, stolen from governments and corporations alike. Jonathan was tasked with finding out who was behind it and stopping them. The deeper he dug, the more disturbed he became. The code was complex, almost alive. He felt a presence watching him, toying with him. He found himself at the doorstep of a digital fortress, heavily guarded and radiating power. The trail led to an address in New York City, an opulent mansion in the heart of Manhattan. It belonged to Vlad Tepes, a reclusive billionaire who made his fortune in tech. He was known for his eccentricities, his reclusiveness, and his almost supernatural ability to predict technological trends. Jonathan was about to meet this enigmatic figure face to face. The mansion was imposing, a Gothic fortress of steel and glass. Jonathan was ushered in by a silent servant, his footsteps echoing on the marble floors. Everything about the place screamed wealth and power, but there was an underlying coldness, a sterility that sent chills down Jonathan's spine. He was led to a study, the walls lined with ancient books and modern technology seamlessly intertwined. It was an unsettling juxtaposition. Vlad Tepes sat behind an enormous desk, his back to Jonathan. He was tall and imposing, with a shock of white hair that contrasted sharply with his dark attire. As he turned, Jonathan saw his face, etched with age and wisdom, but with a piercing intensity in his eyes. Vlad Tepes was older than any billionaire had a right to be. His gaze seemed to pierce through Jonathan, reading his thoughts. Mr. Harker, his voice was a low rumble, accented with something old, something Eastern European. I understand you are curious about my work. Jonathan, trying to maintain his composure, explained his role as a cybersecurity expert, his investigation into the rumors of Dracula and the stolen data. Tepes listened intently, a hint of amusement playing on his lips. Over the next few days, Jonathan found himself drawn deeper into Tepes' world. The billionaire was charming, intelligent, and surprisingly open about his work. He spoke of pushing the boundaries of technology, of unlocking the secrets of the human mind and achieving digital immortality. Jonathan, however, couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Tepes' words were carefully chosen, his explanations always stopping just short of revealing too much. Jonathan continued his investigation, discreetly planting surveillance software in Tepes' network. What he found chilled him to the bone. The rumors were true. Tepes was Dracula. His digital empire was vast, stretching across the globe with tendrils in every major network. Governments, corporations, even individuals, all were compromised. Tepes had access to everything, their secrets, their lives. And then there were the whispers. Jonathan found them buried deep in the network, hidden within layers of encrypted code. They spoke of ancient rituals, of blood and sacrifice, of a power that went far beyond anything Jonathan could comprehend. He began to suspect that Tepes wasn't just a tech genius. He was something far older, far more dangerous. He was a creature of myth and legend, brought into the digital age. He was Dracula. Jonathan's investigation didn't go unnoticed. He started experiencing strange occurrences, shadows moving in the corner of his eye, the feeling of being watched. His dreams became plagued by nightmares, filled with images of fangs and blood, of Tepes' face contorting into something monstrous. He confided in his fiancée, Lucy, about his suspicions, about the dark truth he believed lurked beneath Tepes' sophisticated facade. Lucy, initially skeptical, soon became a believer. She noticed the changes in Jonathan, the growing pallor, the dark circles under his eyes, the way he flinched at the slightest touch. And then there were the marks, 2 small puncture wounds on his neck, barely noticeable but definitely there. They sought help, finding their way to Dr. Van Helsing, an old friend of Lucy's family. Van Helsing, a scholar of the arcane and the forgotten, listened intently to their tale. He recognized the signs, the whispers of ancient evil resurfacing in the modern world. He knew what Tepes was, what he was capable of. He had dedicated his life to combating such darkness. With a heavy heart, he confirmed their fears. Vlad Tepes was Dracula, a vampire who had embraced technology, becoming a digital predator for the modern age. Section 5. The Hunter and the Hunted. The revelation was a turning point. Jonathan, fueled by fear and justice, vowed to stop Dracula. Van Helsing, his mentor, guided him in this terrifying world. He revealed ancient lore, forgotten knowledge of vampire hunters. Dracula was a master manipulator, preying on the weak. Their investigations spanned from New York to forgotten archives. They learned of Dracula's origins and his rise to power. Dracula had transferred his essence into the digital realm. They uncovered his plan to enslave humanity through technology. He would use stolen data to control the world. Jonathan and Van Helsing had to act fast. Section 6. Artifacts of Power. Van Helsing knew that conventional methods wouldn't be enough to defeat Dracula. They needed an edge, something that could combat the vampire's digital might and ancient magic. Their search led them to ancient artifacts, objects of power that held the key to defeating Dracula. They traveled to remote monasteries in the Himalayas, delved into forgotten catacombs beneath Rome, and braved the scorching heat of the Sahara Desert. Each artifact they recovered was a piece of the puzzle, a weapon against Dracula's darkness. There was the silver crucifix, blessed by a long line of priests capable of disrupting Dracula's connection to the digital realm. There was the vial of holy water, drawn from a hidden spring beneath the Vatican, its touch said to burn Dracula like fire. And then there was the stake, crafted from the wood of an ancient oak tree that had stood on the grounds of Dracula's castle in Transylvania, its point imbued with the power to pierce the vampire's heart and end his reign of terror. Section 7. The Ritual. With the artifacts assembled, Van Helsing devised a plan. They would launch a two-pronged attack, striking at Dracula's physical form and his digital empire simultaneously. Jonathan, using his skills as a cybersecurity expert, would infiltrate Dracula's network, using the artifacts to disrupt his control and weaken him. Van Helsing, armed with the remaining artifacts, would confront Dracula directly, engaging in a battle for the ages. The night of the confrontation arrived, a night of a blood-red moon and howling winds. Jonathan, his heart pounding in his chest, breached Dracula's defenses, the silver crucifix humming with power in his hand. He navigated through layers of code, each line pulsing with Dracula's dark energy. He could feel the vampire's presence, vast and malevolent, watching his every move. Meanwhile, Van Helsing, his face etched with grim determination, stood before Dracula in the heart of his digital fortress. The vampire, his eyes glowing with an eerie light, smiled cruelly, his fangs glinting in the darkness. "You cannot defeat me," Dracula hissed, his voice a chilling whisper. "I am the future. I am forever." Section 8. Digital Dawn. The battle raged on both fronts. Jonathan fought against Dracula's digital defenses, the vampire's code lashing out like whips, trying to crush him. He used his skills to outmaneuver the attacks, the holy water, now digitized and flowing through the network, burning Dracula's essence with every bite it touched. He could feel Dracula weakening, his control slipping. Van Helsing, moving with surprising agility for his age, dodged Dracula's attacks, the vampire's speed and strength amplified by his digital powers. He countered with the stake, its point aimed at Dracula's heart, the wood thrumming with ancient power. The air crackled with energy, the clash of ancient magic and modern technology illuminating the night. Finally, with a desperate lunge, Jonathan unleashed the final blow. He activated the digitized stake, its code piercing Dracula's digital heart. A wave of energy erupted through the network, the force of it throwing Jonathan back. He watched, his breath catching in his throat as Dracula's digital form flickered and then vanished, his reign of terror finally over. Section 9. Legacy of the Dragon. With Dracula's defeat, his digital empire crumbled. The stolen data was recovered, the secrets returned. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief, unaware of the silent battle that had been fought and won on their behalf. Jonathan and Van Helsing, forever bound by their shared ordeal, emerged from the shadows, their faces etched with exhaustion, but also with a sense of accomplishment. The threat of Dracula was over, but the experience had changed them. They had seen the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the world, the ancient evils that could resurface in the most unexpected ways. They knew that their work was far from over. They vowed to remain vigilant, to continue to fight against the forces of darkness, wherever and whenever they may arise. The legacy of Dracula, the digital vampire, would serve as a reminder that even in the age of technology, the battle between good and evil raged on, and sometimes the oldest weapons were the most effective. The crucifix, the holy water, the stake, they were more than just relics of the past. They were symbols of hope, of humanity's enduring spirit, and its ability to overcome even the darkest of threats. As the world moved on, unaware of the silent war that had just ended, Jonathan and Van Helsing found themselves at a crossroads. Their journey had revealed a hidden network of ancient evils waiting to be awakened. They could no longer turn a blind eye. In a dimly lit room filled with old books and modern technology, they pored over maps and ancient texts, deciphering clues left behind by Dracula and his followers. The dragon's legacy was not just about a single entity, but a vast network of darkness spread across the globe. Van Helsing spoke, his voice resolute. "We must track down every remnant of Dracula's influence. This battle is far from over." Jonathan nodded, his eyes reflecting the determination of a man who had faced the abyss and survived. "We'll need allies. This fight is bigger than us." Their commitment was unwavering. They began reaching out to others who had encountered the supernatural, forming a covert coalition dedicated to protecting the world from unseen horrors. As they prepared for the battles ahead, a new sense of purpose drove them. The echoes of their past encounters served as a constant reminder of what was at stake. The digital dawn had brought new challenges, but it had also forged new heroes. The legacy of the dragon was now a call to arms, a rallying cry for those willing to stand against the shadows. And so, Jonathan and Van Helsing set forth, ready to face whatever darkness lay ahead, knowing that their greatest battles were yet to come. The world would never know their names, but their actions would shape its future. In the silence of the digital realm, the echoes of eternity whispered of their courage and sacrifice, a testament to the enduring fight between light and darkness. The story of Jonathan and Van Helsing was far from over. It was just the beginning of a new chapter, one that would be written in the annals of time, echoing through the ages as a beacon of hope in a world forever teetering on the brink of darkness. As the coalition grew stronger, a chilling discovery was made. Deep within the labyrinthine archives of an ancient monastery, a forbidden text was unearthed. This text, known only as the Codex of Shadows, contained rituals and incantations believed to be capable of resurrecting the darkest of entities. Among its pages was a prophecy, foretelling the return of Dracula through the digital realm. Van Helsing's voice, filled with urgency, echoed in the dimly lit command center. "We have to act fast. The prophecy speaks of a convergence, a moment when the digital and the supernatural will merge, allowing Dracula to rise again." Jonathan, his face etched with determination, replied, "We need to find the source of this convergence. If Dracula's followers succeed, the world as we know it will be plunged into eternal night." The team quickly mobilized, using every resource at their disposal. Advanced algorithms and ancient knowledge were combined in a race against time. They traced the digital footprints to a secluded location, a forgotten castle, now a hub of dark energy, hidden within the deep web. As they arrived, the air was thick with foreboding. The castle, once a place of grandeur, now stood as a decaying monument to forgotten horrors. Inside, they found an elaborate setup, computers, arcane symbols, and a pulsating dark crystal, the heart of the ritual. Van Helsing's voice cut through the tension. "We must destroy the crystal before the convergence is complete. It's the key to preventing Dracula's return." With each step closer to the crystal, the shadows seemed to grow darker, the air colder. The team fought through waves of supernatural guardians, their resolve unwavering. As Jonathan reached the crystal, he hesitated for a moment, sensing the immense power it held. Van Helsing shouted, "Now, Jonathan! Destroy it!" With a final decisive blow, Jonathan shattered the crystal. A blinding light filled the room, and the dark energy dissipated. The ritual was broken, and the threat of Dracula's digital awakening was thwarted. Breathing heavily, Jonathan and Van Helsing stood amidst the ruins, knowing they had averted a cataclysm. But the battle was far from over. The Codex of Shadows had revealed many secrets, and the darkness still lurked in the corners of the digital realm. Jonathan's voice, resolute, declared, "This is just the beginning. We will hunt down every last remnant of this darkness." Van Helsing nodded, his eyes reflecting a shared determination. We are the guardians of light in a world teetering on the edge of shadow. As they walked away from the castle, a new sense of purpose filled them. The war against the darkness continued, but they were ready. The digital dawn had brought forth new challenges, but it had also awakened new heroes. The echoes of eternity whispered of their courage and sacrifice, a testament to the enduring fight between light and darkness. And so, the story of Jonathan and Van Helsing continued, a beacon of hope in a world forever teetering on the brink of darkness. In the wake of their victory, the world seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The threat of Dracula's digital resurrection had been thwarted, but the scars of the battle lingered. Van Helsing and Jonathan returned to their base, their minds heavy with the cost of their triumph. The command center, once buzzing with activity, now felt eerily silent. Screens flickered with residual data from the destroyed crystal, and the air was thick with the weight of what had almost come to pass. Van Helsing stood before a map, red pins marking the locations of known supernatural disturbances, each one a potential threat. Van Helsing's voice, weary but resolute, broke the silence. We've won a battle, but the war is far from over. The Codex of Shadows has revealed more than we could have imagined. There are other dark forces out there waiting for their moment to strike. Jonathan nodded, his face etched with determination. We need to be prepared. The digital realm is vast and the shadows are always lurking. We can't let our guard down. As they strategized their next moves, a new challenge emerged. The destruction of the crystal had sent ripples through the digital and supernatural worlds, awakening entities that had long been dormant. Reports of strange occurrences began to flood in, glitches in the digital world that defied explanation, sightings of spectral figures, and whispers of a new cult rising from the ashes of Dracula's followers. The team quickly realized that their victory had come at a price. The balance between light and darkness had been disturbed, and the consequences were unfolding in unpredictable ways. Advanced algorithms and ancient knowledge were once again combined as they sought to understand and counter these new threats. Van Helsing's voice, filled with a mix of caution and hope, addressed the team. We are facing a new era of challenges. The digital dawn has brought forth not just dangers, but also opportunities. We must harness the power of both the old and the new to protect our world. The team redoubled their efforts, forging alliances with other guardians of light, both human and supernatural. They developed new technologies to detect and combat digital anomalies, while also delving deeper into the ancient texts to uncover forgotten knowledge. As the days turned into nights and back into days, the team grew stronger, their resolve unyielding. They knew that the fight against darkness was an eternal one, but they were prepared to face it head-on. Jonathan's voice, tinged with a newfound hope, declared, "We are the guardians of this new era. We will protect the digital and the supernatural realms from the shadows that seek to consume them. We will stand as a beacon of light in a world forever teetering on the brink of darkness." And so, their journey continued, a testament to the enduring battle between light and darkness. The echoes of their courage and sacrifice resonated through the digital and supernatural realms, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. The story of Van Helsing, Jonathan, and their team was far from over. They were the vanguards of a new age, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And in their hearts, they knew that as long as there was light, the shadows would never prevail. The sun began to rise over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the command center. Van Helsing, Jonathan, and their team stood together, their faces illuminated by the first light of dawn. The air was filled with a sense of accomplishment, but also an awareness of the challenges that lay ahead. Van Helsing's voice, strong and unwavering, broke the silence. "We have faced unimaginable darkness and emerged victorious, but our journey does not end here. The digital realm and the supernatural world are forever intertwined, and it is our duty to protect both from the shadows that seek to consume them." Jonathan stepped forward, his eyes filled with determination. "We have the knowledge, the technology, and the courage to face whatever comes our way. Together, we will stand as guardians of the light, ensuring that the balance between good and evil is maintained." The team nodded in agreement, their resolve unshaken. They knew that the battle against darkness was eternal, but they were ready to face it head-on. As they looked to the future, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and hope. Suddenly, a beam of light shot down from the sky, enveloping the team in a warm golden glow. It was a sign, a reminder that they were not alone in their fight. The forces of light were with them, guiding and protecting them on their journey. Van Helsing raised his hand, the Codex of Shadows glowing with an ethereal light. This is our moment. We are the vanguards of a new age, and we will protect the digital and supernatural realms from the darkness that seeks to consume them. Jonathan's voice, filled with hope and determination, echoed through the command center. We are the eternal light, the beacon of hope in a world forever teetering on the brink of darkness, and as long as there is light, the shadows will never prevail. The team stood together, united in their mission. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the light of dawn guiding them, they set out to protect the world from the shadows that lurked in the digital and supernatural realms. And so, the story of Van Helsing, Jonathan, and their team came to a dramatic and satisfying conclusion. They were the guardians of the eternal light, ready to face the darkness and ensure that the balance between good and evil was maintained. The echoes of their courage and sacrifice resonated through the digital and supernatural realms, a testament to the enduring battle between light and darkness. As the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness, the team knew that their fight was far from over. But they also knew that as long as there was light, hope would always prevail. And with that, they set out on their next adventure, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The end.